What I was going to ask was, to Katie is, did you ever write something and say, all right, Andy, let me see you draw this?
Every page.
Every page. Basically, I try and put something in every script that Andy's gonna send me an angry text over.
Now, with issue 4, she sent in the script for issue 4, the MCS her staircase, and Christmas's castle. And
Whichever artist wants to draw.
the editor honestly wrote her, I thought you liked it.
Because it's on a few pages.
And then when I got the script, she texted me, haha, and started sending me photos of staircases for hours. Then she says to herself, how can I top that? And then I get the script for the upcoming issue 11 with Shining Armor and Cadence. And I get to page 11, and the first thing is on the page, Andy, don't kill me. I have children. Page description in the middle of the page description, please don't kill me. Finish the page description, I'm sorry. The I'm sorry is a lie. She's in Michigan.
But yeah, I get a lot of notes from the editor going, I thought you guys were friends.
How could you?
I think my favorite part is like whenever I get a page from Andy and he's like, I hope you're ready for this. This is going to be so hard to color. And I mean, I already did James Stocco's work on Godzilla Half-Century War, and I'm just like, this is nothing, Andy.
Yeah.
You have no idea. This
Every
is easy.
issue. Now, I really have to say, if this book belongs to anybody in particular, it's Heather's book, more so than ours. Heather has been in more issues than anybody involved in the team, outside of our editor, of course. But anytime I get, I mean, you guys have seen, I'm drawing, you know, the Blues Brothers like this, and Magnum PI is over here, and Twilight Sparkle is way in the background, and there's every star on her butt. And I tell Heather, here you go. And I'm surprised she's not blind.
You get used to it.
And also, Heather saves our butt on our deadline every issue.
Because Andy and I are never on time.
Yes, that's it. It's like, I think like Rarity, I have like 3 days to like color most of the issue, and I recently quit my day job. I was working at Starbucks for 9 years, and I had work the next morning, and I think I had got like 2 hours of sleep, like finishing up the Rarity Micro. And
That was a good thing you had all that caffeine.
yeah, I was like, well, like the next issue, I'm sure will be really tight. I don't know when that's gonna happen, and I'm like, now that I don't have a day job, I'm like, I can do this all in a day. It'll be all right, Andy. Don't worry. My hand might fall off, but it's all right.
Yeah, you got 2, you'll be fine. No, yeah. Draw them. Be fine.
I have cats. So
You can be
Of
like,
course,
they can do it for me.
You can be
That's the
pony
secret, the
with,
cats do it.
The tablet and in your mouth, and
Yeah.
Heather, on the,
With his mouth, so.
he's just doing that to be pompous.
Heather, on the, let's say the background ponies, how much, do you get to pick the colors of them, or is that all figured out before you get the drawings from Andy?
Well, sometimes Andy will have specific notes for me. Amy Meverson on the second arc, like she would like have this awesome system where she would take it into Photoshop and use the note feature and like plop a note on one panel, plop a note on a panel, and like tell me exactly which pony was which. Unless it's like a specific character, usually I'm left to my own devices. Like sometimes I'll like sneak little references, and they're like, I'm like, oh, there's a female unicorn pony with short hair. That's me. I'm usually not in the background, so I'm like, I have to put myself somewhere.
Have you ever tried to see, let's see how garish and loud and visually unappealing I can make this random character in the background? Like hot pink fur and neon green mane or something like that?
Well, I mean, in college
I probably just screwed up someone's favorite pony, I'm sorry.
there's a video.
OCs in this room.
Yeah, right.
Someone's gonna get up and walk out of there.
Speaking of OCs real quick, I know that on one of the panels in the first book, y'all included your own OCs?
Yeah.
In the, I know you said your husband is the mule, which that's the ultimate sign of affection, I feel. But what, like, have you ever done anything like that? Like any of your other friends, other than the cave troll guy?
Cats.
I have.
Our cats.
There's cats in there.
In issue 1, page 3, the first big splash of Ponyville, that's where I am, my wife is, Katie is, and all 6 of our cats are on there. That's also where you see, cameos from characters of the show, Snowflake and Mayor and Screwball and things like that. That was the page. That was the page where we really set the tone of like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But as far as putting OCs in things like that, we really stay away, because that can also run into, quite frankly, if I put his OC in, then I gotta put their OC in, and I gotta put their OC in.
Like
and
some
then,
people
quite
got
frankly,
mad about Sibsy being in there. Like Amy put Sibsy in a few pages.
Well, Sibsy's from the show. Sibsy's
Yeah.
an
So like, why are they
established
putting
character.
Sibsy in there? How dare they? Why are
She's
they
an
putting
established
IOC in
character.
there?
But aside from that, when it comes to OCs, we can actually get into legal problems. So we apologize in advance. We cannot put you in our
Because
comic.
we do get a lot of emails saying, will you put my OC in? And one person that asked me, can you put my OC in and give him a speaking line? This is the tone that I write him in. It's like,
Yeah. That's along the lines of will you read my fan fiction?
Also, on that note, and this is an important thing, I know you want us to read them. I know you want us to look at them. We cannot read your fan fictions.
I don't read your fan fiction.
And
I'm just going to point that out right now.
because, again, we can run into legal problems. If we end up doing something that is too similar to your story, you can make repercussions, and the book can suffer. Also, the fact that we have enough planned that we don't need anybody else coming in and saying, "I've got an idea." It's kind of a shame, but we can't do it.
So, but you'll still read mine though, right? I mean, I had this really cool OC Red and Black Alicorn in there that I really think would be. He's a great character. He cries a lot. He writes poetry and.
What did your
it's
male
great.
alicorn do to deserve being a pretty princess?
He listened to Korn.
He listens to My Chemical Romance and writes poetry. He has really big, thick red glasses. He's great. He's really original. Shut up. He's original. You be quiet, you. All right.
Whenever someone shows me their OC and it's an alicorn, it's like, what did you do to deserve it?
Why were you so mad about Twilight being an Alicorn?
Exactly.
You tell me what you did to deserve being a princess, and I will draw this. Otherwise, no.
Need a 10-page essay.
You will be an earth pony, which are the meanest of all the ponies. You can't do anything. Applejack.
Exactly.
What about Best Pony now? Liam's fat word.
But she's not as bad as Rainbow Dash. No,
So how long have you wanted someone to just graffiti your house? Because apparently that's what you're asking for.
I like the Ewoks. Everybody can just stop. It's all a bunch of dancing teddy bears. It's fine.
Needless to say, it is clear
Flash
that we do
Entry is
have
the
our
best character
favorites.
ever.
We do have our favorites, and we like all the ponies. We just like to rag on specific ones. And I rag on Rainbow
Every
Dash because it's my
pony's
husband's
best
favorite.
It's my favorite too, but it's okay. It's like your reason for getting on her is my reason for loving her.
There are-
You're like,
I-
Brickel just is a jerk, but that's why I like her.
I will say there is one pony, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's one pony, I don't care what Katie says, I don't care what Hasbro says, I don't care what the editor says, it will never be in any comic book I draw. Ooh. Never.
Well, now we're gonna have to go inspect your entire run of the comic to find out who's missing.
Never. I think Katie actually kind of agrees on that one.
Oh yeah.
All right, now we've been talking about backstories and all this, so I want to know. A button has been pressed, a wand has been waved, the magical fairy dust has been sprinkled, and you are now the immortal Fausticorn. You are the lord of all things pony in the universe, headcanon, canon, fanon, everything. What would you change? What would you like to do if the evil overlords at Hasbro had no control over it, or DHX, what would you want to do? Is there any sort of like fanon or headcanons you would want to throw in there, or would you just nix the character completely? What would you do? You have free reign over everything.
I would make Big Mac and alicorn. Are you a princess too? What did you do to earn that? Oh.
Like, oh, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm just an evil, terrible person that likes grimdark stuff, so everyone would probably die.
A giant cupcake-shaped nuclear explosion takes out a castle.
It's like one of my favorite things of Games of
Oh,
Thrones, so.
Twilight is there with her glasses going, there's time now to read everything. And then like,
I think for me, if I could, there's nothing I would change. I think everything that they've done on the show has been wonderful. But for me, I could limit the book to Luna, Applejack, and Chrysalis, and maybe occasionally have a backup of Rarity, and I'm done.
Please help me.
That's all we need. The rest of Ponyville
And
can
some
move
juice
out.
happens over there.
I think that would be my ultimate thing. I could just then plot into a mist of fine red joy. So.
Okay.
Can we pitch a Chrysalis miniseries? That would be sweet.
Yes. So, what did you guys think of our Return to Chrysalis?
since I know one of you is going to ask it, the cute citizens of Wubby Dubby Smoochy Land don't die.
They just go to live on a farm.
Upstate. With that Labrador retriever from the 3rd grade that your parents said is at your aunt's house.
And they are not cats.
What are they?
They are the cute citizens of Lovey Dovey Land.
There's one adorable thing.
So it says it.
Andy and I, of all people, would not harm a cat. He has 6, I have 3. I like them more than my husband. I made him a donkey,
And the cat's ponies.
and the cats are delightful.
So let you know where the ranking is in that household.
Right.
So
Cats, everything.
You know,
Exactly.
We have already started discussing things for various characters to come up in the book. You know, we have plans way in advance, but it boils down to you guys. You know, as long as you guys keep buying the book, we're going to be able to.
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. There will always be a Brony with disposable income.
Buy multiple copies, we need the kickbacks.
And mostly even non-disposable income. Rent, ponies.
It's like, I gotta say, like, well, after like being in the anime fandom for so long and seeing the rampant piracy and like scanlations and fan subs, it's refreshing to see a fandom that wants to spend money.
And on that real quick, what have you noticed? The biggest difference between going to regular sort of nerd conventions and anime conventions and pony conventions? Have you seen a difference in how people act or with the atmosphere or anything like that?
Well, I've been doing conventions in one form or another since 1982.
Before I was born.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Oh God.
And I'm like, yeah,
We're live, so I can't say what I want to say.
of course.
But
Maureen?
We understand.
you watch your mouth.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I'm the middle. We might be in like ranking of like oldest to
See,
oldest.
I can,
Yeah.
you guys can tell
I can be the middle child.
the age of me by looking at reference. If there's a reference in the book that you go, I don't get it, it's because I'm old. The MASH references have flown over everybody's heads.
I got it.
All right, then I'm going to test. Who got the WKRP references in Rarity?
The which
Stand up
one?
over there.
The which one?
Johnny Fever and Venus Flytrap are in the Rarity Micro. See, that's 3.
And then there's one person that's seen one episode at Nick at Night and you're going, huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even seen that. I'm always like, I don't know what all this is, Andy.
But
It's like,
I've
I've
been-
been to more babies.
I've been going to shows for a lot of years, various shows, comic shows, pop culture shows, etc. And I have to say, this fandom is incredible. The Bronies get a lot of flack. I mean, even the Baltimore paper said, you know, there's grown men at a pony convention. Where it's like, well, you guys are on the outside. It's difficult to understand, but I mean, the Trekkies, the Jedis, the Whovians, everything. There's all kinds of fandoms, and in thinking about it, the Bronies are the closest thing to the original Trek phenomenon.
The immediacy of how quickly the fandom has popped up with the show that's true. That's, you know, with Trek and how crazy the fans went at first for something that was new and fresh.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing. That's a great description. And like,
I'd like to make,
for example, when people talk about fandom, everybody has their head canon, etc. It was because of you guys that Vinyl Scratch is Vinyl Scratch.
And Derpy.
Hasbro didn't have a name for these guys.
Derpy is the pony with no name.
Oh yeah, the muffin icon. Sorry.
You know, Vinyl Scratch and DJ Pone 3 Pony, whatever. They're both legitimate names. They are both recognized by Hasbro. Her pro name is DJ Pone 3. Her real name is Vinyl Scratch. That is because of fan reaction. You know, in Star Trek, James Tiberius Kirk was never ever said in the course of the original series, but fans knew who it was. And it wasn't until the last appearance of Captain Kirk that they said his name in Star Trek 6. So it took 30-something years, but the fans knew. That's the kind of strength that this fandom has. And Hasbro was paying attention, guys. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
And on another note, for those of you that didn't like Equestria,
It was all your
whatever,
fault. Oh my God, I have no idea.
All that fan art.
Yeah, the fan art of
that
the-
human
the
eye, that human
ponies is
question that Vicky
beautiful.
wrote.
Hasbro looked at that and said, "Oh, this is what they want."
They have volumes of fan art.
That they keep.
If you
Like,
don't want
okay,
it,
this
don't
is
make
what-
pictures of
This
it.
is what they're looking for. So you guys do have an influence. You really do. So,
Blame it on yourselves.
but
Take some
There's-
responsibility.
there is absolutely no reason to not be proud of this fandom.
Yeah.
We have people all the time asking us, well, I'm afraid to go in a comic shop and ask for a pony comic. Own it. Own it. Be proud of what you are. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the little pastel-colored marshmallow pink ponies.
That's like,
No.
on that note, like, I mean, as a girl, throughout the years, I've always had to listen to girls say, I'm afraid to go into a comic store. And, you know, like, there's nothing scary about liking what you love. So, I mean,
Well,
you know,
then,
there's no problem.
it's a bookstore, guys.
It's-
Who is afraid to go into a bookstore? Go on, go buy a book, own it, slam a pony comic down on the register and say, I would like to buy this. If you are that freaked out, say, it is for my kid.
It's like only the manliest
And then
of
go
men
into your car and go,
will buy
I lied, it's for me.
You're 16, so it's my daughter.
People have kids at 16. I mean,
I was
really
totally hot.
There was a TLC show about that, yeah.
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 Okay.
Be an MTV special.
we're going to start taking some questions here in a few minutes. But before I do that, let me make one quick editorial. When Andy talked about the original Star Trek fandom, that was me. I remember I was there for the beginning. And I was in the fandom. I'm still in the fandom. I'd like to say that knowing the fandom like I do, and knowing the Bronies like I do, you guys are the happiest, most well put together, best fandom I've ever seen in my 42 years, probably, of being a fan. So give yourselves a hand.
Silver's, he's been in the military so long, his first chaplain was Jesus.
27 years.
All right, so I think we'll start taking questions.
We're going to alternate, of course.
You over there.
Hey guys, just want to let you know that Equestria Daily is typing up everything you see there, so there you go. And we're sending your OC
Tell everyone I said sorry.
I hate Katie Cook.
Andy Price is an awful human being.
Applejack is best pony.
One quick thing, this is being live streamed. Please keep it appropriate. Thank you. Next question.
I heard Andy Price doesn't like anybody in this room.
Paul said canon, so I'm not going to read it.